What's going on, y'all? This is Greg. Greg said it. I wanted to come with a somewhat non-football related, but definitely Colorado related video. Centers around everything we've been talking about, this Coach Prime situation. It's weird. Nobody can put their finger on it. People want to say it's racism. Some people is hating, jealousy. They don't like him. You know, we've talked about different talking points. We've seen it from everybody. And it's interesting. You know, whatever the reason people don't like him, we've seen it even at Jackson State. So, you know, the color thing was out the way. People don't like him. And the problem with that, probably outside of just not liking the guy, I mean, you got the right to not like somebody, but not liking them and they did nothing to you, that's weird. But when it spill over to his kids, now we've seen some things, you know, we've seen Shador step in, and he took like a high level of criticism for a mid, literally, comment. And people say, oh, he's not a leader, he's this, that, and that. Some people say, hey, him and his brother Shiloh should be like Travis Hunter, which is weird because everybody could be like somebody. So why just them two? And Travis Hunter, I mean, you don't know Travis Hunter personally. I mean, he's not perfect either, but people just kind of take jabs at both of them. But Shador, they threaten his draft stock, saying he's not going to get drafted because his comments on like Twitter. And then we see this thing come out with Shiloh. And, you know, I actually ran across the story probably a couple weeks ago, just randomly. I never heard of it before. I guess it was re-emerging around that time, and it just further re-emerged after I saw it. Where the guy interviewed, I forget the guy's name, one of the content creators who's known, I think it's Jason Whitlock or something, if I'm not mistaken, where they always have something to do with Coach Prime, one of those guys, a black guy. I would hate for him to have been white. He would have been the super racist of the world, but it's a black guy who he feels like he's not really doing nothing wrong, or he's not hating on Coach Prime. It's like he kind of waters it down, but this is pretty intense because his name comes up a lot. And I guess he tried to make it sound religious, like we shouldn't idolize him, but it's like, it's kind of like idolizing, putting a lot of energy on that level and putting words and thoughts on other people. Because, yeah, some people may idolize, but that doesn't give you the right to have the spirit, that kind of mean spirit towards that man. Like, you can spend it how you want, but, you know, you can poke at him too. Because how he goes about it is pretty hard. So he's the one who interviewed Coach Prime. Or he's the one who interviewed the guy who sued Coach Prime, his former wife, and Shiloh. And as the story went, Coach Prime may have been the one who said get the phone because he was going through a situation with the ex-wife. It was divorced or was headed that direction. They might have already been divorced. I don't know. But anyway, he didn't want the wife to be on the phone with Shiloh because Shiloh was acting up, and the guy was a coach, but baseball coach and security guard. And he got Shiloh out of the class because they say he was rolling dice, right? And he probably have not that long been there to that particular school, that private school, charter, whatever. So he went and got Shiloh, and he told a whole long story about how he got him out. And then Coach Prime ended up on the phone and told him to get the phone from Shiloh, and Shiloh, you know, didn't cooperate, you know, all that type of stuff. You know, this is a 9th grade year. And then he proceeded to go on and talk, and that's when the guy pursued him. And, you know, the first Coach Prime was concerned about who he was talking to and tell him to hang up. Then he told him to get the phone. And then that's when it escalated from what the guy said. Shiloh hit him, and then they end up in a tussle. Now, somewhere along the line, the guy ended up having some life-sustaining injuries where he walked away and had like some spinal injuries. But that probably came more so from some kind of freakish thing from a tussle, because from the video, you know, Shiloh punched him, but he can't say that the punch caused it. And then he ended up wrestling with Shiloh against the glass and taking him down. And somehow he got injuries. Not that Shiloh slammed him or anything like that. Very freakish. And ended up going to court. I don't know how long after that. First, he said he wasn't planning on suing, but some comments was made. So then he ended up suing. And like workers' comp sued first originally, and then he went back and sued as well. And he just kind of tried to make some like he didn't have no issues with none of it. And some comments were made on like TMZ and all that. And then I guess he came back and he ended up getting like $11 million judgment. I just summarized all that all kinds of ways. And Coach Prime ended up coming out of it, I guess, when Shiloh hit a certain age. I don't know at what point. But it ended up being left on Shiloh and the ex-wife, his mom. And now all of this stuff reemerged because they say Shiloh, I think he did go for bankruptcy. And then later on when he came to Colorado, he did the same. They seem like it just happened because all this stuff just hit. And people throwing around how, you know, these kids flaunt their money and their NILs and their life because it's on the camera. They did the fashion show. They got the cars. And now people are mocking them. And they're mocking Coach Prime. He got the Must Be the Money remix coming out. And they're mocking him. And like, oh, must be the money, but you let your son go through this and this. This is a lot of things. We don't know how this thing going to end. Really don't. It's perfect for them because, you know, Colorado's the hottest thing. And it's like they're going to throw whatever they can to be a distraction for this season. Every ex-player, every current player, every situation, and if they can get a scandal, whether it's real or fake, they're gonna do it. And it's interesting to me because it's like Colorado has a really good team. Nobody want to give them credit for it. They want to see you said that last year. Or they say, well, you keep having a new team. These other teams have programs that's 100 years old. And y'all haven't, you know, even though Colorado has had a program too, just not recently. But they will hold against them that the teams they're playing against, I guess, had recent success. With the coach that's been there, or even if their coach is new, they're going to give credit to what the coach did before. And they're going to say Coach Prime came from FCS and he wasn't there that long. So Colorado already has a lot against them. I don't know what percentage of media is against them because clearly they love to put them on TV because I guess it's going to benefit whether Colorado wins or not. The eyeballs are going to be there. But at the same time, it's like it's a high level of scrutiny. And I guess they can benefit from it, but you don't see that towards other teams. Not that kind of personal attack on the team per se. Especially if it's not warranted. Like, they're not a winning team. Who cares? But since Colorado's getting attention and was a losing team, they catch a lot of strays, what people say. Then their coach is catching all kinds of strays. Then his sons are catching all kinds of strays. And it's all, what's the cause? It's all behind what? What is the real reason for it to be so serious, so personal? It's football. And it's college football. They're technically just not really starting to get paid. So it's not like they're professionals. Why does Coach Prime and his sons and his team, everything connected to him, catch so much? You say what he should say and not say. But the reality is you wouldn't know if he didn't do just such a good job of promoting himself. Whether it's because his son and all the conglomerates connected, you know, through Well Off and Reach the People, they had a pregame, and you got people like us. Is that what it is? Because it's weird when you attack the man and then his kids. They still kids, even though they grown, they kids. And what Shiloh did, it act like he just did it. And it probably, in people's mind, they non-research and just go with stuff sell. I'm hearing stuff like he just hurt the security, he slammed the security. From what I hear, he hit him a couple times. But I don't think that really damaged the security guard, from what he said. Somewhere along the line of him wrestling, I don't know. It seems a freak accident because he just wrestled him. Now, anybody know, work with kids. I have an education background. You break up fights and things like that. That stuff happens more than people think, but it typically doesn't result in like spinal damage. Like, he just pretty much wrestled shallow to the floor and walked off and could control his bodily fluids and functions. That's how he found out. Just feeling and looking a certain kind of way afterwards. But it wasn't because he got jumped. Like, you hear stories people really get, you don't really hear that much after them. But this story is catching a lot of legs. And it's because of who it is and because of the situation they're in. If Colorado wasn't the top team that everybody watching, already getting impressed and looking for every storyline they can grab, we really wouldn't hear it like that. We probably would hear, oh yeah, Deion signed. But the guy said he wanted $11 million. I don't know how they were awarded and based off what, especially getting it from Shiloh, unless they were originally thinking they were going to get it from his dad, because I don't know how they think they was going to get $11 million from a child. He and his career ain't even started. He hoped to go to the NFL and hoped to make $11 million. So it must have been really targeted towards the dad, because I don't even know how you would get that from him. And that's what they're dealing with right now. They're dealing with him maneuvering around something he don't have. Because I know you don't think he have it. But people want Coach Prime to pay it. And everything that he says and everything he does, certain people going to use that. That's just one more thing that people going to use against Colorado this year. One more negative. You don't hear a lot about the positive. Never really have from a lot of people. But that's what Colorado, that's the state of Colorado. I'm not going to go full into a inspirational, motivational message because I can. But this is just another thing that they're going to have to make it through. It's just another form of adversity. And every story that comes at Colorado this year, between now and that season, during the season, probably even after, they're gonna throw it at them. It's not like other schools don't have issues, but they leave it to the school. They leave it, oh, they kids. But this group, it's like all eyes on them and anything goes. And that's weird. What do you all think? What is it really? What gives them the right to scrutinize these kids like that, or even coaches on a personal level like that, over football? What's going on? Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. I'm Greg said it, and I'll talk to y'all soon.